Still surprised that he got a lot of bat behind it because the outfield is not the batsman's best friend at the moment. Still surprised that he got a lot of bat behind it because the outfield is not
inside edge and just misses the off stump
at the moment.
Asif Sheikh is really quick between the wickets. He gets from the slip fielder Ryan Khan, who comes across. Asif Sheikh is really quick between the wickets. He gets there to get going to the non-striker's end. From Sabin from Canberra, Ryan Khan, who comes across. Australian fans played in the morning. Tell us what time it is there. You're watching on from to the non-striker's end. How many games have Nepal left to play? I'll show you the table after this delivery. In the morning. Tell us what time it is there. You're watching on from all of these sides. How many games have Nepal played? 36 one-day internationals after this delivery. Oman top so that table. These sides, 57 for 36 one-day international, 9 overs here. So after this game, remarkably, top that table. Still 28 ODIs for Nepal to play. So lots of time for them to work their way up the table. If they can win today, they'll have 8 points after 8 games, and they'll still be right in the mix.
The idea for them is to try and float in 3-4 as much as possible before they make that move, big move, to be in the top 3. And that is exactly why a win over here, and they will be mighty impressed. They need this. For 2 games, they've been on the wrong side of the result. Things looking good for them in this particular game. Nepal. At the moment, number 6, but don't trust the points table. Trust the scorecard at the moment. The points table will change.
So going to be Mohammed Nadeem, the 39-year-old, into ball from the Al Emirat end. Finally, someone's answered the question. Vivek Pokharel says, here in Nepal, we call that a tapare cut in the local language.
Ah, tapare. Does tapare mean a bowl?
And then Rajesh Chauhan says that Maqsood's haircut must be like my son's haircut. He's got the same one, and he calls it a mushroom cut. Never heard that before. Keeping us educated here in the commentary box. Still going to call it the fade. I think it's a fade. Melbourne. I'd love to know what time it is in Australia. Middle of the night, I would say. What's your thoughts on Nepal's possibility of finishing in the top 3? It's a real chance, and I'll do as well at the end of this over when we look at that table. I'll explain to you all the permutations, because it's such a contextual league. It's not just the top 3 that advance to the Cricket World Cup qualifier. There's more things at play. We'll talk about that at the end of this over, so stay with us. Good running from Mallet. He'll come back for the second, and Sheikh nearly catches up his skipper. Been a nice partnership, this. It's been a partnership that's made batting look very easy.
Yes, and it's looked risk-free for most parts. And that is something that Oman will have to look at. Runs are flowing at the moment.
Bishnu Bhattarai, he's definitely pretty stylish on Instagram. He says that we call that Maqsood haircut here in Nepal a Vaddu cut. VHADDU cut. Lots of love from Taiwan. Great to hear from you. Some people speculating it's a bit like an army haircut. Don't know about that. Anjal from Sydney. And Roshan just says it's a handsome cut, and I'd agree with that. The Nepal skipper, looking very handsome indeed, was having a chat to him yesterday. He was having an afternoon off and a swim with his 2 young kids and his wife in the pool. And it's a big, big schedule, isn't it, for Oman? 4 one-day internationals this week, fresh after the tour of Mumbai. 4 one-day internationals next week, and then a series of T20s before the T20 World Cup. It's going to really test the depth of their resources here in the Sultanate.
Yes, and the positives from it would be that they're playing some of the opponents that they will be up against come the big games too. The T20 World Cup. Yes, the format would be slightly different. Oh, that's beautiful delivery. So he Maqsood has looked innocuous, barring the first ever delivery that he bowled. In 3 overs, 25 he's given away.
After 9 overs here.
On, then off, because I've always seen them with the mask on. Andrea, I take a minute to regroup.
You do kind of get used to them after a while, but the eyes always water right the way up both nostrils there. But yeah, hopefully...
You're looking all red.
Yeah, hopefully with that double vaccine I'll be all right. I'm sure I will. 100% negative tests throughout this tournament, which is great to see and great to hear. Strange times we're having to deal with around the world, and very sad times, particularly across with the Delta variant having spread so badly, particularly across that Indian subcontinent. So our thoughts anyway affected by that. But thanks to all the medical staff who've kept us safe here this week, and let's hope for brighter days ahead.
Absolutely, thanks to them for being the forefront of the fight, helping us all, and may cricket bring that cheer in life that we so very need at the moment. It's
funny, isn't it? When the IPL was on, there was a lot of...
It still is.
Discussion.
Alongside us in UAE.
No, I mean when it was on initially, there was a lot of discussion about whether or not the competition should be continued with, and the kind of discussions that went around was something to look forward to each evening, something to keep the mental health going. Ended up being the consensus that primarily for health reasons for the players, that they decided to cut it short and cut it in half, and it will resume now as it is indeed today. And let's hope that the T20 World Cup that follows it will be successfully run. And I think almost every one of the participants as well these days will be double vaccinated as well. So fingers crossed there'll be no... Mohamed Nadeem, causing problems as he so often does, just finds that bit of movement, doesn't he? Away from the right-hander this time. That's Gyanendra Malla through to Kumar, but even if they can find some wickets, it's going to be too little too late for Oman.
He's found the length though, Mohamed Nadeem. It's taken him 10 balls, but he's found the right length to be bowling to Gyanendra Malla, who at the moment is at a run ball 35. Quicker, considering his previous innings.
Yeah, watchful in defence. Malla, he'll want to be not out at the end, as will his partner